3, 2, 1.
Oh no, I'm so stressed about college, but my counselor only helps students with mental health. Really, our counselor doesn't help us with mental health at all and only focuses on college. Almost every student can say one of these statements, but guidance counselors typically can't provide both for every student. Each school should have 2 guidance counselors, one for college and one for mental health. Today, I will start by explaining the problems in the guidance counselor work field. Then I will give solutions for said problems. And finally, I will compare and contrast what would happen if we did or didn't have 2 guidance counselors in a school. Now, let me explain some of the problems in the guidance counselor work field. To start, I will go over why schools have guidance counselors at all. School counselors play an important role in ensuring that students have excellent educational experiences. They are part of a school support team who provide essential emotional support in addition to academic support. Sadly, most guidance counselors can't provide both of these for every student. In an article called Why Guidance Counselors Matter, written by Leticia Marrero, published on edtrust.org, it is said that every guidance counselor is supposed to have 250 students to handle, when in reality they have over 450. If guidance counselors have double the students than they're supposed to, how can they provide all of this help for everyone? Students and parents aren't getting the college advice that they need so that students can attend college and be financially fit. According to an article titled We Need More Guidance Counselors Now, written by Robin Whitegood on blackenterprise.com, parents and students, both homeschooled students and students that go to school, have to attend financial aid workshops because their guidance counselors don't provide them with the financial information that they need. Clearly, not only do the guidance counselors need another counselor to help them handle all the kids, but the kids deserve to have a counselor always available for them. Now one might say, okay, my counselor does a great job helping with college, but rarely talks or helps with students with mental health. Should they be? Sadly, society is still working towards ending the stigma around mental health, so people tend to think that it doesn't matter as much as planning your future. According to an article written by the Association for Children's Mental Health, 80% of students don't get the mental health care that they need. Let me tell you why this matters. Nearly 40% of students who have a mental illness don't graduate high school. Over 50% of students with emotional and behavioral disabilities drop out of high school. Guidance counselors won't have to worry about planning for college if their students aren't even going to make it there because they don't have the mental health care that they need. It's clear that there is a problem in schools when it comes to guidance counselors, so let's talk about some ways we can solve this. Obviously, the first solution is to just hire 2 guidance counselors, but it's not that easy. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are only 324,000 guidance counselors in the United States. Luckily, the job outlook for guidance counselors is 8%, which is faster than the average career path. There are some things we can do to increase these numbers still, though. For instance, we can simply push the occupation and inform people on the need for this job. We can also contact local politicians and senators to try and push laws that guarantee there are 2 guidance counselors in each school, or to raise the wages of teachers and other school staff. Another solution could be that schools just get a therapist. Many schools have a nurse on site, so they could also have a therapist on site. This would allow the guidance counselors to only have to focus on college planning. One downside of this solution is that it would cost a lot more money. A guidance counselor is typically paid around $56,000 a year. According to careersinpsychology.org, the average counseling psychologist or therapist is paid $72,000 a year. If schools are worried about money, they might as well just get 2 guidance counselors instead. Now that we know this problem can be solved, let's compare and contrast what it would look like with a solution versus without it. If each school had 2 guidance counselors, the students would greatly benefit. Students would get the mental health care that they deserve. More students will graduate high school. More students wouldn't self-harm or commit suicide because they would have the support that they didn't have before. Students would miss less school because they would be more motivated to come and would have their anxiety more under control. Students would also be more confident in their college future and when it comes to finances. The guidance counselors would also benefit if there were 2 in each school. They'd be able to focus on their one area and less students would fall through the cracks. They could also potentially be paid more as well. If each school didn't have 2 guidance counselors, things would stay the same as they are now. Students wouldn't feel mentally ready or ready for college. Students will continue to drop out because their mental state isn't good enough. Kids will continue to not have the support they need, will self-harm, and take their own lives. Guidance counselors will continue to struggle to handle all their students and provide them the help that they deserve. Now that we know what a school with 2 guidance counselors in it would look like, let's review everything we went over today. Every school should have 2 guidance counselors, one for college and one for mental health. Today, I started by explaining the problems in the guidance counselor work field. Then, I gave solutions for how we could solve said problems. And finally, I compared and contrasted what it would look like if we had 2 guidance counselors versus if we didn't. The difference between what it would look like in a school with 2 guidance counselors versus 1 is extreme. There needs to be change in this area of the education system, not only for the sake of the kids' mental health, but for their futures.